Yo, people, what's happening? Getting this clip ready, getting my social media post ready to rock, and we can roll. Let me know if that music's too loud for y'all. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. That's the matter. That's the matter. That's the matter for you. Let's tag some people. Your mouth off. Alright, that's enough. What? No, that's... no, we're live now.
Still the most wanted, put my face on the poster. Streets cold, so I came with the toaster. Came in the game, put that thing in the choker. I'm from Gotham, like my name is the Joker. Whole lot of scars, I smile about it. If my nose got some powder on it, I give it to these motherfuckers how they want it. I never ran
We have the antidote for that.
Imagine dragons like some kind of a rock band. Told y'all, I'm playing to win. I said it from the jump, I won't say it again. I'm just getting started, I'm breaking it in. I told Hercules, he's like my connect.
Stop by and say hi.
Splitting honey buns with a couple of my friends. Now it's Wagyu with the butterfly shrimp. Talking about me like an old wives' tale. Speaking of wives with the money and white veils. And my bitch ass is fat as a white whale. Real thoroughbred, I swear she Clydesdale. Old school melodies stuck in my head. Hear a lot of critics, I'm like, fuck what they said. Mad cause they bitch it up in my bed. She cooked me eggs and she buttered my bread. Never felt so good to feel so lost. Never felt so good to feel so lost. Hop on into the wheels fall off. If you've ever seen
Boy Thursday. And then pop in all these hashtags and my links to all my stuffs. Alright, alright. Bang, 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 bang. Invite the party. Invite the game. Invite the party. Invite the game. Alexa, turn down. Hey yo, what's up, fella? Okay. No, I did not. No, you're in my lobby. I guess I wonder what happens if I jump into fire and, okay, you're here. Well, let's go to the firing range and mess around, I guess. You can show me what you be talking about. Alexa, turn it down. Oh, my fucking phone. That was yesterday's post. Alright. No, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying alright. I have both on. Yeah. Yeah, so it gives you each bullet that does it. And then at the end there is a, when you're done hitting them, there's a slightly bigger number that gives you the amount that you've done. I mean, I like it, except it is a bit, it's a lot going on in your sights. You know what I mean? So sometimes it's hard to, it blocks my view sometimes, especially if we're shooting at somebody that's at a distance. So I don't know which is better. You know what? I guess while we're here, let me change some stuff around. Okay. Yeah. Oh wait, I gotta turn my damage numbers back on. I guess just, let's see. Stacking show combined number of all recent damage. Floating show one number for each damage event. Show combined number for. Come on, Grim. He's inviting me to a party. I already sent you an invite, bro. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Yo, what up, Grim? Yeah, they do the same damage. Yeah. And I mean, is there like a bar that tells you that? Yeah, okay, on the gun there is.
Babe,
What's up, babe?
did you know you need to vacuum out the dryer vent?
No, I didn't know.
You saw the shop vac, right?
Yeah,
We should try that tomorrow.
vacuum out the dryer vent. Okay.
Yeah. Because even our,
No, we're.
you can see under it, like there's lint all over the place under it. So there's probably a bunch going through it too.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do that.
I'm reading about fires.
Yay, that's not gonna be stressful.
You just fucking
Hold
pensively-
select
Did you see my
and
text?
hit start. I heard it go off now.
She was just pensively watching the rain, just like Opie did.
Oh. What? Why would you do that to me, you piece of shit? So yeah, in the description it says it's hump day. That is bullshit because I updated the info to be nothing, to be blank, and it just left.
He's just sitting back there watching the rain. Just like Opie was doing the other day.
And the problem is I don't think it'll change on Facebook once it's done. Well, you make them come in. You're the boss. You tell them what you want. Oh, okay. Well, then he's being cute. All right, we're back in the lobby. We are ready to go, Mr. Grimbo, whenever you are ready. All right. What up, Pat and Jess? What's going on? Invite is sento. Alright. Alright. Actually, I'm gonna start it off with the thickest of boys. The fat man himself,
Gibraltar.
Gibby.
The fattest
It's
man.
Gibby. All right. You ready, Zero?
He sounds like he's ready.
God damn it, Zero. I would have stayed in the firing range and, like, showed off the people.
I mean, it shouldn't take that long to change his batteries.
I don't know what he
right?
was doing. I thought he was here.
That's what he said. There he is. God damn it, Zero.
God damn, Zero.
God damn it. He's ruined everything. We're still in the fire.
Oh, man,
Oh,
Zero.
okay.
Alright, return to lobby, and that was my fault. That was 100% my fault. Alright, which do we want to do? Do we want to do trios or the armor one?
How about regular
whatever.
or either or. I really don't care. I don't use
Yeah, I don't either.
P2020 and I can always find armor. But we can do that. I don't care.
Alexa, turn it up.
Yeah, it might be a little different when they change the
So
armor
like
mode on it.
flat
or whatever.
lines and purple armor you start with.
Oh no, I didn't think about them changing the gun. They might.
I don't
do
think
that.
they are. From whatever I read, it's supposed to only be start with the
Armor.
P2020 or whatever. But I also, from what I read, thought it was, or maybe not the official release, but people were saying it was going to be pistols only.
Right. That would have been kind of
Which it
cool,
was.
I think.
Yeah, it'd be different. There was a mode with, what was it, shotguns and
Yeah,
snipers.
I
remember?
hated it.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't my favorite. I really liked that. I mean, I didn't really like it all that much either. I really liked that. Freaking Holiday Express though.
Yeah, it was good.
Alright, Grimbo. You the Jumbo Master. Where we go now? That's my
Do this
Spanish,
shit
by the
right.
way. Alright. It's gonna be a hot ass drop. I'm gonna hit the roof on the far side.
Alright, I'm going straight down as usual.
I guess I'll go into this side of the bottom. Oh no! Landed on the balcony.
Pick it up, pick it up.
I don't see anybody inside yet. Use a select fire. There's a blue hat in this bin here.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm good. I got one.
Oh, somebody's here! Somebody's here! From the other side of the roof from Joe. From
Okay.
that fucking.
Other side.
So
Almost
yeah,
there.
opposite
Oh.
me.
So there. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
God damn! What he shoot you with?
How'd
What? I
they?
thought he was over here.
Wait, how was your health so low? Did you get shot too?
He
I was
shot.
instantly
he-
fucking dead. Yeah, no, he
When
was
I
over
said
here.
there was-
I didn't quite get it either.
When I said there was somebody here, he had taken about 90 health off of me. Oh, there's a fucking guy crouching here executing me. God damn it.
And that's how we do
That
it.
is a poor showing for the fans.
Pro moves right there. I don't even know.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Throw your shield, throw your shield, throw your shield. Oh, I got shot by somebody else.
I gotta look at my death recap. Well, oh, he had a damn havoc. Okay,
Oh,
and then a
He had a-
fucking prowler. Okay.
yeah. Whoever killed me was 8 hits with the Prowler. They have, I don't know, the Hammer badge, like the best one, the 20 kill badge. They're like insane. But it's very rare we meet somebody that good.
Yeah. Yeah, that was nuts. He hit me for like 90, 95 with the havoc while my back was turned. And then, so I mean, all he had to do was breathe on me, but still, that's amazing that he hit me with the prowler from that fucking far away. That like that.
Boom, boom,
And you.
boom.
I mean, you came in afterward, I think, but still. It's fucking crazy
That
shooting.
was instant. That was instant.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want me, got these tattoos on my body. Same shit in the morning. Drugs, liquor, liquor, drugs, and there's liquor, there's liquor, there's liquor.
No, it's probably too soon, actually. Fuck it, though. We're actually kind of heading that way.
Yeah, one other squad.
Yeah, they're gonna land first. I'm gonna hit the high-low.
I'm gonna go over
Oh, I'm
toward this shit. Oh, we're both doing that. Okay.
The white shirt, my bad.
I'm dropped frames a little bit going into that. Shit, I got a Mozambique. Oh, I
Shit,
got a
don't see a
wingman.
gun. All right.
No way.
Where they at? Where they at?
Fucking fell off. They're up in this car.
Uh,
There's like other people coming too, though.
Alright, I got a
Take the
grenade
way.
as
God
well.
damn it.
I'm headed toward. Oh, there's an
I'm on
enemy
your
here.
6-0.
They knocked me off. Man, I'm getting raped from above. And he's punching my back. Are you guys around here? No?
Yeah, we came over here. Yeah, to back
I
you
got-
up.
Got one of them.
I came over because you guys over there. Alright, yeah, I'm getting chased
Shit.
by so many fucking people.
Oh, there's somebody in the fucking car.
0. Oh shit.
Got two of them
I
down.
dropped the shield battery for you.
Got two of them dead.
Oh shit, they're throwing grenades at us.
Oh,
They actually hurt
grenade,
me with
God
those
damn it.
grenades. They actually hit me with them. They actually hit me with those grenades and actually like did damage with those.
Yeah, one grenade killed all three of us, I think.
Yeah.
I wonder if he got some kind of achievement for that. One grenade, one squad.
Pull up, pull up.
Fight music.
Man, when I was in the firing range earlier before y'all got on, like I put a full clip in the Hemlock and put it on single fire, and you know there's like rows of 6 targets. There's like 3 and then a space and
Yeah.
3 more. Dude, if you put it on single fire and try to go through a whole clip and don't miss a bullet, like hit one target after another in any order you want, but like just don't miss a bullet, but try to do it, you know, kind of fast. Man, that's hard as hell, dude. It took me several tries, and I mean, it wasn't really fast, but like, you know, fast enough where you can keep hitting each target. It's tough to hit every bullet in the clip and make sure your sight's on the target before you pull the trigger.
Yeah. It's not that easy. I'm terrible at single shot. And even
Yeah, or
distance,
you know,
I mean,
whatever
you
burst
know,
either, you know.
Yeah. I just like getting close.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can do a lot more damage quicker.
Yeah, anybody
it
had
sounded like
enough
somebody
when
was
you're up close?
over
No, just
over here. I could be wrong.
There's a helmet behind me, Grim, if you need a white helmet. Alright, we're coming.
I'll see if I find another one.
Yeah, I do hear somebody. I do hear somebody.
Yeah. I'm gonna look for more guns. Where does it sound like they're at?
Or actually, I'm
Kinda sounded like
swapping
below
out. I'm
us.
taking that heavy. Sorry. Oh, there's energy. Is there a Havoc? Oh, my bad. Actually, you want that?
Oh, I got it. Yeah.
It
Where'd
sounded
you
like they
get 'em
were right where we just were. Sound like they were in that front,
Yeah.
that top area.
Yeah, it almost sounded like they were
Yeah,
outside.
oh,
So they
shit.
are there. Okay.
Oh, shit.
I'm almost dead.
Where was that?
Got one of them. Shit.
They're dancing.
She's hurt real. She's hurt. Yeah.
No, get out of that. There we go.
Here's an energy and an L-Star.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were a box.
Almost.
Here's a Havoc.
I got one.
I can definitely use that.
Shit. All I had was that med kit. I don't know if they're... Oh, you're healed. Okay, good shit. Do either of you have a
Yeah, I
heavy
got a
gun?
flatline.
Nah.
How much ammo do you have?
96 bullets. You need some?
Oh, okay, okay. I'm
good, I'm
I'll
good,
give you a
I'm good.
box.
I also I got 90 light bullets also if anybody needs that. I don't know why I have that.
If you're not
Yeah,
using
I'm
them,
not. Oh,
I'll
I
take
did
some.
have a light gun prior to that L-Star.
Grim, do you need light or heavy?
Come on. Thank you, though.
Alright.
I need better guns.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that they didn't really have better guns either. Like, well, I mean, some of them are okay if you're used to them, but I'm not really used to the Havoc all that much. Shit. Shit.
What were we doing?
No, still blue.
Yeah, it stayed blue a long time.
Actually, you know what? Here, I'll take this. Somebody want this
There's,
flatline? I'll take this hemlock.
Plot, barrel stabilizer, and a U-sight. Grim, you don't want this U-sight? I wasn't like coming over here to like snatch everything.
Yeah,
I was just,
I guess I could use it.
I was just chasing it because I'll pick it up for you. I was just chasing it because you know, it was there.
Did you pick up the U-site, Zero?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Grim, oh well, we'll come to you.
I'm coming back. I'm coming to get that flatline and shit.
Where's the damn? Oh, okay. I was just trying to figure out where the
There's a loop
circle is
here.
at.
There's a balloon over here too.
Were you needing to use side as
No,
well?
there was another one there that I picked up. That's why I was asking if you picked it up.
Just
Oh.
dropped the purple mag.
I could definitely use the barrel stabilizer though.
Some heavy.
What you need?
Heavy. I have 15 boards.
Oh, here,
I'll
here,
find
give
more.
you some.
I'm not worried
I
about
got
I've
a
got some
100
on
I can give you. Here, I'll give you that.
What did you say you needed, Joe?
Nothing. I picked
Thank
up a barrel stabilizer that fell off of his light gun. Yeah, I'm running L-Star mostly, so. Yeah,
L-Star.
one stack of heavy, the hemlock on single fire is plenty.
Yeah, I can give you a box of heavy too.
I'm good.
Or grim, either whichever.
Yeah, I dropped him a stack.
Thank you.
That's empty.
Still looted or what?
Not
Nah.
sure. Oh no.
Up here is.
You are good. Get a blue bag.
Paying close attention to that area. Shotgun bolt here. Level 3.
Got me one of them. Messing around with the Eve of this game. I could use a better heavy mag though.
Close range. Got a hop up here. Anvil receiver.
I do see open doors.
Squad to pass through here. We find ourselves inside the next.
I'm dropping a prowler for a flat line.
Ooh, a 2x.
There's select fire now.
Optics here.
No,
Range.
haven't seen one yet.
Light ammo here.
Bunch of ammo and the Bernie stickler in there. Somebody dropped.
I've got a lot of light. If anybody needs any, I can give them more.
I'm good. I'm heavy in energy.
All right.
Knockdown shield here. Level 2.
Fuck.
Did one of us loot this shit? This little
Nah,
bit?
some doors were open when we got here.
Yeah, somebody's been through. A 99. I
Hey,
think.
there's a bunch of ammo just dropped here in a pile. There's 35 heavy, some light shotgun.
Standard stock here.
Oh, oh shit, my shit is rubber banding it.
Heavy ammo.
Maybe I'm not going to get disconnected. Seems okay. No, it's not okay. Oh, it is. It's just a fucked up. It's weird where like some zip lines, like you'll hit the ground, it'll knock you off.
Yeah, if you bump into anything, knocks you off. And they sway more the more people that are on them. So like I've had zip lines where I think there's a zip line that goes over the train tracks. And
Oh, somebody's going up this balloon. they're flying over toward the tracks.
Okay. Yep, and they're turning around. I think they see us.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think we should fight them from down here.
Yeah.
Are they on the tracks or what?
I just saw them go toward them.
Yeah, I saw them land up there. Yep.
Yeah, I hear 'em.
Yeah, we're going to get fucked up. Firing up at them. Okay, yeah, this is better. Got one.
I got one too. Probably
Oh,
one
this
left.
one's got me, but her shield's
Alright,
broke.
I'm coming.
Behind this bin.
Yeah.
Behind
Oh,
this. Well, she's
through
moving
my
that.
Bernie, I'm burning her.
Good shit. I'll go get Joe. Oh shit, somebody else here.
Fuck.
Shit. I've got it. Oh,
I
you're
gotta
alive.
fix
Okay,
my
good
shit.
shit. Yeah, we're both.
Are they
No, they're
dead?
coming over here.
You get them?
No.
Coming at you, Grim.
Oh, when I had like half second on my Phoenix kit. God damn it.
Zero, you should heal if you can.
I'm creeping. Shit. Was he a third? Was that a one guy from a
That's
different
not a
squad?
party. We downed that whole squad, and that's a whole other squad came over apparently.
Yeah, man, that burns my ass.
I think it was just one guy. That's all I saw.
Wait, yeah, maybe it was because whoever you said was there. Threw
Yeah, I mean, it
one
was
of
just
those
him.
Revenant balls. But then
Yeah,
I
it was
run around
him.
the corner, and then the same character zips back. How does that
He
even
came
happen?
up the side.
He just
Yeah,
ran
he came
around
up the
a
side
different.
and he jumped on the tracks like between us.
No, I mean when he came back, how'd he get back to the beginning of the zip line over there? He ran away.
Yeah, like he was shooting from under the tracks, and then when you guys went to heal, he ran back around, like not on the tracks, like along the tracks towards you, and came up on closer to you.
Oh, so that zip line wasn't from his squad.
No.
Or that was from the
Yeah, I
original
guess.
people, I guess. Right?
One thing is certain. Someone will die.
Today will be one of those experiences you'll sit back and say, I remember that.
I'll be right back.
All right.
All right.
Life is meant to die. Accept your fates.
Not today.
Whole team moving silent.
But not this one.
This might be a good
Maybe
place to
another
land.
time or spirit
Go to the city,
killed me.
Scrapital City.
Not this one.
Or is that not what you're calling Scrapital City? Is that
No,
your
that's what
city
I'm calling
one?
it. It was Capital City, now it's
Alright.
all
Hold your breath. If you have a respiratory
it's
system,
like Fragment
Yeah.
East and Fragment West. Is Grim back?
Yeah. I don't know.
Hide him if you can.
Oh shit.
I don't know why we're flying all.
God damn. Down select and
People are landing on us.
get rid of this fucking keyboard. Okay, god.
Alright.
No,
Are they
they landed in the
upstairs?
street.
Or was that you that
That was
dropped
me.
shit? Oh.
Yeah.
Random gun to
Got
zero.
one of them. Oh, she quit. Okay. She might have been solo. I don't know. You got an Evo, Grim?
Yeah.
Oh, I hear somebody
Okay.
buzz. Here's somebody at the train
All right.
station.
They're in that
Shit,
bar
why am I
building.
stuck?
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
they're
they're
on-
on the roof.
Oh, maybe
You
so.
saw them.
Okay.
Oh, somebody's outside here. Just shot
Somebody
this thing
behind us?
down. Oh no, they're second floor too. They
Shit,
just
I
ran
don't
in
see
the
'em.
door.
There's a purple body armor there, Joe. Yeah, I fucked this one up.
Where you
Yeah,
at?
outside.
Bottom?
Yeah.
He just
No,
armor
outside.
swapped. He's got purple over there now.
Nah, bitch. Got her.
Yeah, behind that box.
I got her. Shit. Coming. Fuck.
Reloading. Took out an enemy.
I guess, did she run?
Heals.
Yeah, they're gone. They ran all the way over there to fight somebody else. So.
Where are you at? Oh, they're coming back. They're
Oh,
coming
shit.
All right.
back. Up on this
Down.
hill. Up on this hill.
Turn right to the box.
Nice. Good shit. Oh, there's a gas trap right
Probably
there.
my gas trap.
Oh, you're a caustic. Okay.
Attention.
Fresh blue armor over there, Grim. Oh no, I don't know if that's fresh or not. I think it is. Shit!
Shit, I gotta heal up.
Another dude, somewhere outside. Shit, I have no fucking shield heals.
They just came in that door, right? Where I was.
Yeah. There's more than one. I'm running upstairs.
Hit
I'm
him.
running upstairs.
With the arc star. Got
Oh,
him.
another dude up here. Up in here, second floor.
Alright, he's down.
I'm going to the stairs to look for anybody coming up.
Watch my back.
Alright.
Don't execution. I don't
Okay, yeah,
have shield.
somebody's coming in downstairs.
There's another caustic. Yeah, they're throwing all kinds of gas traps. I've got 0 heals of any
Here.
kind, so
That's all I got.
I'm setting traps up down there.
thank you. That's helpful. He's on the stairs.
And it's a caustic. They're zipping up. Oh, come oh, they're above us, they're above us.
Where are they at? Oh,
I
they're
busted
above
one
us.
of them. I got one in the elevator shaft. Yeah. Oh, that was you. Fuck. Fucking hell. Yeah.
Dang. That was fucking close.
Where's the... I gotta try to get some shit out of these boxes. Uh, 301 in the scout. Damn, is somebody flying in on us?
There's my gas trap.
Somebody's fucking flying in on us.
Maybe over there. I don't fucking know, bro.
Yeah, over here.
I see them. Yeah.
Let's where you at? Okay,
Do that
I'm with you.
shit.
I'm with you. Come on, just
Purple
get the
shirt,
fuck out
man.
here and go get Joe back. You want to get to the roof and
Yeah. I just need to get some stuff.
Yeah, there should be. Yeah,
I'm good.
some good
I just
stuff.
need like heal type shit. Fuck it.
here's a 990 if you want. All right, let's
where's all
zip
these
to the
other
roof and I can
boxes
zip
at?
us away. Well, we got enemies outside, but however you want.
Oh, good.
Got enemies right there.
You want to go over there, or you
Yeah,
want to fight them?
I don't know. Whatever. Let's get Joe back. Did I just get shot at? I don't think so.
Thank you.
Yeah, I
don't
guess
see
we can zip
anybody. I
right
don't know
back
where
and
they
get Joe's box. It may have just been one dude. He was running away last I saw him, but
Death box here.
2 floors down is your box, or second floor is your box.
Yeah, this purple one here is my box.
Oh, they're right
I
here.
don't have any. I don't have any heavy
Oh, wait,
ammo left. Shit. All my heavy ammo's gone.
Oh shit! I can give you some.
Fuck.
Drop down the elevator shaft. There's a box. Oh, Grim, did you just take that box of heavy?
Yeah.
No, I didn't pick anything up.
He dropped the box of heavy at the bottom of the.
Do what?
It's fine. I'll just switch guns.
I didn't pick anything up.
Oh, it just fucking
Oh,
disappeared. I don't.
Unless I
You
was
accidentally
reloading my
picked it
light
up.
gun. What was it,
It's
20
fine.
bullets?
I
Yeah,
switch guns. I
it's
switch
like
guns. It's
52.
fine. I already switched.
40,
I already
that's
switched.
40.
It's fine.
Well,
Where are these
I
fuckers
already
now?
dropped it
Well,
up there.
I don't have a gun that can use it anymore, so you should go get it.
Did they run away? Or are they ambushing us?
No, I heard them. Maybe they're outside around here.
You know, the ring's moving in. If you want to, let's just. Maybe we should just move. I don't. You want to go up to the roof, y'all? And
I'm trying to. Did you pick up those
No.
bullets? I don't remember. There we go. Alright. I can remember where they were. Alright.
I guess those fools ran away. I don't know.
Yeah, let's take it. Oh, that's what happened. I got rid of my troubles. Alright, I'm coming.
1 minute until close. Rings nearby.
I'll throw us another zip up to the Trizzy tracks.
Time.
There's a zip right there, Grim.
There's people over here. Behind
We
that
have to
rock.
run up the tracks.
Okay, okay. Yep. Yep. Other one is. Oh, there's a third one. There's a third one behind him. I guess these are the guys.
I just broke a shield with that grenade.
But they're all
Trying to
running.
flank.
Yeah, they're all on the tracks.
Shit, they're on the tracks. Broke another one's shield. Got one down.
On the right. Yeah.
No, they're on the left. Both of them are.
Oh, I just threw my ult at them.
Damn. Oh, glad that was yours, shit. What a battle.
Yeah, see, my shield just leveled up to level 5. And I had to fill up that last shit. It didn't fill itself
Huh.
up.
Did you have full shields before it leveled up?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Damn, I don't know if I want to get rid of one of these. Alright, who wants some heavy ammo?
I'm good.
I just went double lot. If anybody wants it, I'm dropping 2 stacks.
I'm not using heavy.
Any more throwables in here? I just got a bigger bag.
Not that I see.
You want an arc star? Here's an arc star.
You know how
Yeah,
long
I'll
it's been
take
since I
that.
put
Thank
your
you.
No, I don't want.
Your stream is
There's a USOT in there, Grim.
Yeah, I got
No.
a couple, thank you.
I spent that whole
Yeah, we're
time
stomping
getting the
kids'
glitter
asses
off my
this
nails,
game.
and I'm still not even done. And like, I just really want to like remind myself this. Like, this is why the Peely nail polish is worth it.
Oh, they're in that car.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I don't know what's on.
Well, that's annoying. They're shooting people in the other car to the left.
Heads up, got one here.
Well, just...
And there's people on the roof there.
Oh, shit.
Shit.
God damn it. All 3 of them on the fucking roof. This is 3 different fucking squads. I'm just backing up into the tunnel if I can. Oh, sorry, bitch. You missed me.
How the
Oh,
fuck
okay,
can you
well,
even
I'm
see
back
me?
into this corner down low.
How the fuck can you even see me?
You guys probably ought to save yourselves
That's
and
the whole
maybe...
squad.
Yeah. You might all just run for the vault tunnel.
I'm down.
They're going to have to... Oh, maybe they
There's
don't
one
have to, I
down,
don't know.
2 still up top. Yeah. Where the goose?
Your help is very soon.
I've got fast heal, I'm trying.
Oh shit.
Damn, I can't...
Fuck. Yeah, that was just terrible. Terrible positioning.
God damn it. I don't think we should try to even fight people.
No, but I didn't. I mean, there was really nothing else we could
I
have
think
done.
we should just retreat. Oh no, I don't. I'm just saying in the future. I think instead. I mean, I started fighting them. I was on the railroad tracks and got fighting them. I'm just saying. I think maybe we should like. It's hard to win
Yeah,
a fight
absolutely.
uphill. If you can't get around to them without them shooting you on your way, you might ought to run and wait till the circle comes in and pushes them off.
QB, thanks for the follow. I don't know why my thing didn't play. Cool. Yeah, no, I agree, 100%. If they're, I mean, if they're
Kick
on the,
kids'
if they're on
ass,
the
though.
roof, or they're up on a mountain or something,
Yeah, I would definitely
unless you can
prefer
get to
like,
them.
Like in my mind, best strategy would have been to run underneath inside, so at least they'll have to come down to us once
Yeah,
they started
and-
shooting us. I feel like if you start
want
shooting
you-
that in the open, you're just gonna go down. And I did go in by
Yeah.
myself, but I didn't realize there's 3 people, and you know, you're already down. There's nothing else to do.
Yeah.
I didn't
I'm
think
just-
back to this diving with the arc
Yeah,
stars
yeah.
and grenades, and when the storm's coming and kill you anyway, so just have to move.
Yeah, but just so you know, like, if I get downed, I don't care if y'all like run to the vault tunnel or something. That's not going to make me mad. You know, I mean, that's an unwinnable situation. You know, it's like
The ring isn't really complex, but it can be a little complicated.
I'm just saying, it's not going to bother me if you don't do some saving private.
Well, I
Ryan
was
shit.
already off. As soon as they started shooting me, I went off to take cover underneath.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I should have tried to get there. Wish I'd tried to throw a Bernie up onto the roof, but I mean, before I went down the first time.
I threw my ult up there and didn't.
I don't know if I could have landed
Didn't
that
hit
though.
anybody. But,
You see your
yeah,
ultimate
it
and it didn't do anything?
didn't damage
Oh,
anybody
that's
up there.
lame. They must
Yeah,
have
there's
just
so
backed
much room
up,
on
I
that
guess.
roof.
It might be like one of the ultimate in-game spots when you think about it. I mean, you can take cover from
I don't
almost
know.
any...
When I'm on the roof, I just get smoked by people with good aim from far away. I don't like being on roofs either, personally. Maybe you guys are better at it. I just am not.
It's not my preferred place to be, but like I was tearing up one of those kit. Well, there were 3 of them though. It didn't really count.
Somebody just zip to that box over there. There's a blue shield in there.
I don't have
I had
a
a
gun yet.
P-1020 in a Mozambique.
Oh, now I got an Eva. Shit. Where you at, Grim? Are you
Yeah,
up top?
he's in the bird cages.
Or I'm zipping up.
Oh, I thought I had shields. I don't. I jumped off.
Got one of them.
There's like 2
I
of them.
got one of the
coming
ones
after me.
in this cage.
My people just went up to that one. I'm burning
The
somebody.
light
Somebody
Right
else
now.
might
really
zipped up.
hard.
Oh, he's already down.
Yeah, I need to
Oh,
get
I'm being
my
shot
bullets.
right next to you, right next to you.
Yeah. Where you going, fast legs? Fuck you. Get fucked
And I
up.
got a shirt too. What? Up here, somebody else.
Oh hell, somebody's throwing nades at me. Thank you.
Alright, I don't have any shield heals, but I also only have like
He knows
30
he's
bullets
fucked.
for each gun.
Is he still up in there?
Yeah, he
Oh,
was
they're
a
coming
second
into
ago.
me.
He's throwing. Shit, where at? Oh, this is another squad, I suppose.
They're right in here.
Fall 6 here, fall 6 down.
God damn it. This bitch is hurt bad.
How
Oh,
much
here's a fucking. It's a whole nother squad. It's a whole
Yeah, I'm
nother
like
squad.
lagging again. Fuck!
Where they at? Where they at?
I'm the box.
Fireman. Ah, I'm out of fucking light ammo, all that shit.
Oh, my dropped right here. Oh, I'm getting shot in the back.
I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming. Nice.
I think there's somebody else, maybe.
Are there shields in that
Maybe
box?
not. Maybe that was just your footsteps.
I have a couple small ones. I don't know if there's any in there. Where's these other people at? Oh, over here. There's a 99 in here. There's a white body shield here. Do you have a
Yeah,
better shield?
I just found shield cells. You know,
Oh no!
Shit, where's that?
Up in the car. Somebody's still fucking hiding up there.
oh, and somebody's
How
flying
many
on us over here.
motherfuckers?
Oh, somebody else is flying on us.
Fuck, man.
Damn it.
I gotta heal up. I gotta pop a Phoenix. I'll be 6 seconds.
He's zipping over. He's zipping to another
God
car.
damn it, man. It's gonna be an early night.
Shit.
Yeah, I'm getting double teamed by fucking everybody.
Yep.
2 more people
One
over
of
here. Or 1 more maybe.
God damn. There's 3 of them.
No, they are.
There's like 3 squads in a row, dude. 3 fucking squads in a row.
I got killed by 3 people. I didn't even realize how many people were shooting at me there.
Yeah, it was. We killed almost 2 squads, and then 3 more came in. It's getting gang banged.
Yes, sir.
So maybe we should play like it is a ranked match. Drop on the outskirts, loot up, fight our way in.
That's fine to me. I mean, even though I'm enjoying this battle, it is irritating me too. Like, it's just been squad after squad after squad.
Because I mean, we usually do better in ranked matches, and we play differently in ranked matches.
3 words: win again.
Yeah.
How do you play different? in ranked
We
matches?
normally drop on the
More
on the
cautiously, I guess.
on like the outer edge of the map and work our way in. Is one thing we do differently.
I don't think that was even blue, was it? The train
No.
yard that time?
I don't think so.
It was fucking nuts.
It's
It
always
like
a
it
hot
was
spot.
blue.
It's like the skull town of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah. Let's see here. Let's drop on this side of the city. We'll land on that. Is
Yeah.
that the fucking?
I like
No,
the
it's
cat.
not.
Starting on the outside, next to the blue zone, and working our way in.
Oh yeah, I guess this isn't exactly the outside.
I mean, I don't care what we do.
I kind of forgot. I kind of forgot in the amount of time that I realized I was jump master. My bad.
2x.
Put that on my Mozambique.
And a shirt. I hear somebody around here.
Mozambique.
They're not super close, but
Or I just got a gun.
Eyes on the maps. Next ring's not close.
I'm moving towards you, Grimp.
alright.
Yeah, I'm like glitching. and
You know,
shit.
even if is it doing that rubber banding shit with you? Like you'll go forward and then back?
No, it's making me. I feel like I'm running fast.
Doing cheat
Yeah.
codes again, bro?
Oh, yeah, I'll take that anvil receiver.
You seen any heavy guns?
No, I'm going for that 2x. And I'm grabbing that anvil unless Zero wants the anvil. I don't really care.
No, I don't. I was about to ping you. I didn't realize it had already been did.
People are fighting over there.
I'm right behind you.
I'm just looting. I'm not trying to start a fight.
All right. Oh, yeah,
looking for a heavy gun.
they just went over to that building.
Oh, flatline. Fuck yeah.
I'm gonna look in this building real quick for a little ammo.
It's not relanded?
No.
Yeah. But that was the pink building.
Barrel stabilizer.
Uh,
Level 1.
I just assumed you were
I
in there
think I
because I thought
went-
that was the first one pink.
yeah, I think I went to the one next to it or something.
Oh, there is a. Never mind. Thought that was a prowler. It is not.
You guys got up. It looks a lot like one when they're sitting there. You guys okay on
Yeah,
ammo?
I'm lighting.
I see them
energy.
fighting in there. Do you want to go?
Sure, I got a blue heavy mag for someone if they need it, want it, would love it.
I'm alright.
Go ahead. I don't have it. I'm coming to you, Grim. We
You
were a
guys-
little far away, but
you
Yeah,
wanna
we'll be
go?
we're
fine.
on our way
Yeah.
to you.
Yo, a body just fell on the
Mm,
ground
yeah, I
right
saw
here.
that.
What the fuck? Ooh, I knocked that bitch down with one shot. He only had like 30 health or something. Ah. Oh shit, somebody behind us.
Fuck. I'm getting cover in the building with Grim, and then we can fight that guy as he pushes up.
Yeah, me too, me too.
Oh. Okay, I got you covered.
Another
Yeah.
squad or something.
Yep, yep. Good shit, good shit.
There's a bunch of throwables
Yeah, that
in
fool's
here.
got a scout with a double tap.
Oh, that's the
I
key.
don't know
Just
where
put
he's
his
at
gas
exactly. Here he is. Here's one of them. Oh, climbing up on you, climbing up.
Oh, what the fuck?
Oh, there's more than one. There's more than one.
There's two up here, yeah.
God
Is
damn,
there one
that
down
fucked
there?
up. They're both in this corner. They're both in this corner.
Charging shields.
Yeah.
Care package. I love these teams. Throwing thermite.
Oh, is somebody burning? Oh, is somebody burning? Oh, did I
There's
knock
two of 'em
somebody?
there.
Oh, jeez. Yo, bitch, back up out of my fucking room.
Oh,
I am almost
hell
dead.
yeah. That was some of that big dick playa shit. I'll get your
Give me my shields to recharge.
Probably heal up
Yeah.
immediately so we don't get raped.
Yeah. Good job, guys. Damn.
Give me a sec.
See if there's some.
Knockdown. Body shield here. Level 2. Thermite grenade here. Heavy flatline here. Heavy ammo here.
Take that energy.
Optics here.
Here's an L star if you want it, Joe.
Yeah,
I'll
no,
drop some
I
more
got-
energy.
I got
38.
no
I've got
star
38.
already. Are you using the energy?
Oh, Grim, I got select fire.
Is there a prowler on here?
No, I'm not. I swapped
Okay.
out for a. Oh,
No,
I don't see
no.
one yet.
Prowler around here. I thought I
no,
might have
I
seen
haven't
one.
seen
Storm's coming. Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah, thought I saw one.
But no, Joe, I didn't need the energy. I picked up a
Okay.
different gun. It's just round
Oh,
one
how the
storm, I
fuck you
think.
get out of here? Well, I barely have any
Extended heavy mag
skills.
here.
So I'm just running.
Oh, okay, okay. Shit. Oh, I've got some heals I can give you when we get to safety. Good shit, good shit.
Oh, open care
How many
package
syringes do
here,
you guys have?
so be careful.
Package over here. Extended
Okay.
thermite grenade here.
I have,
I got 4 little ones.
yeah, I have 4 little ones.
I'm alright.
No, I got a big one.
Well, I'm gonna give you both
I got
2
a-
more
I got a big,
because I got
okay, I got
10,
a big one,
so-
so the Grim can have all those.
Okay,
I'm
well,
okay.
I'll give Grim
Eyes
4
on
of
the
them.
map.
I
Next ring.
I'm good on syringes.
Okay, well, let me know if you. I'm carrying them for now.
Oh, we got people over there.
Oh yeah, shit.
They just jumped off. I don't.
Oh, over here. Okay. They're also over where Grim was running toward
Hey, you
toward
saw this?
Geyser.
Med kit
Yo,
here.
is your
Where'd they
brother
go?
dying, Grim?
Yeah, I could use that. Maybe. I don't know. What the fuck?
Oh shit.
I don't understand where they are.
Do you know where that
Down?
came from? Oh, yeah, right there.
Oh, behind us.
What the
Oh
fuck?
shit, they're behind us. Oh god, we're getting pinned from 50 sides. Yeah, we're fine.
That was the people that we heard on the other side that came up.
Yeah.
Oh, you fucker. He's jumping the fence. There's two left up here.
Yeah, and there's another dude too. Oh! Oh, there were two of them on you, shit. You were beating the shit out of that kid though. Good damage, shit. That sucks. Those fucking kids at the sorting factory saw us. Man, those kids from the geyser came up
Grab
quick
that.
too. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna pee real quick. I'll be right back.
Alright.
Well, yeah, I'll be right back.
All right, pal. Let's go change your life.
I cannot wait to win this match, friend. Everything's gonna be great. At least that's what I keep telling myself.
I'm back.
There were multiple ways this could end.
Alright.
This one. I need to blink. You may miss me. Trust just your eyes and you'll know.
Where you want to go?
Let's do some skyhook.
You may miss me.
Alright. Yeah, we haven't been there in a long time.
Hope you're ready. Let's do this, brothers.
I'll go to that one, I guess.
No,
or did you
I'm
already
right
mark
here.
that?
It don't matter.
See, we move this way.
I'm just gonna land in a. Oh, somebody's landing on my building with me.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Charge rifle it is.
Mm,
Watch,
Yeah,
I'm down
Mozambique it
instantly
is.
from that havoc.
shit. I don't think I can stand up to the havoc with the Mozambique.
Let's find their fucking drone around here.
Alright, I got a 45. Grim, there's a shirt here. Shit, I'm coming. Ah, how do you guys fucking...
Damn, this dude's almost dead, but not. And there's somebody else. Yeah. The robot's probably almost dead.
Oh, there's 3 guys on.
Yeah, and some. There's 2 squads. I think somebody else shooting in this building.
I can't believe there are that many motherfuckers in Skyhook when it's like almost the last stop in
Yeah.
the hole. And plus they got the good weapons. I had a Mozambique and a 45, and when they have a Havoc versus... What'd you have,
charge
Joe?
rifle?
Oh, man.
Cannon gun. Cannon gun right there.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's the most disappointing of all weapons, possibly.
Cannon's made out of tissue paper.
Yeah.
shitty ass gun.
Yeah, I think I'd rather have a Mozambique than a charge rifle in most cases.
You guys
Except
just want
at
to do like
range.
some real hot drops, just to like, you know, get some, that's what I usually do in the beginning. Get some practice, combat practice, you know. It helps me.
Sure.
Either ones, I thought we were doing hot drops.
Yeah.
And all that.
I feel like I'm
I mean,
still
we had
not.
like,
Yeah, I thought we were getting our shit kicked in from hot drops.
but I
yeah,
don't
whatever.
care. I mean,
Whatever.
And then we should land. Well, whatever.
Like to have a little fun, so what?
How about we just push every fight
Introducing your
Okay.
champion.
just to get practice?
All right.
Who cares what
Cool.
happens? Just to get, you know.
that's cool with me for like a game or two. I don't really want to do it all night, but like do
That's
a little.
literally how I
mean,
usually
that's-
play every game. That's how I get most of my wins, honestly. Yeah, that's probably hotter.
What are we? Oh, the ice. Okay.
It seems like all the time, I don't know. Even when I stop and wait for you guys, then I still end up like in the front dying by myself all the time. Like every time you play. I don't know if you guys just wait for me to go in, but I feel like I'm usually down before any bullets fired. When we're running.
Oh. I don't.
And
I don't try to
You guys
wait for
both
you.
kind of seem to hang back together.
I mean,
don't know.
actually, I feel the opposite.
I'm
There's
not-
plenty of times where I get left.
Trying.
I mean, both of you are off, and I'm left behind.
I kind of feel like sometime like you'll be running ahead, and
But then I purposely
you'll-
will like stop and wait for you guys, and then you'll just like stop where I'm at instead of running past me, and then I start running, and then you end up like further behind me. I don't know.
I don't know.
Seems to happen
I feel like
a lot.
sometime you'll be about 100 yards off, and say there are dudes right here, and I'll be like, we're way
Yeah, that
behind
definitely
you,
happens.
and you'll run on in.
You just
Yeah, I know
Oh,
that
shit, there's
does happen sometimes. I get bored of leading or whatever, so I do run ahead.
Got one. Fuck, I'm almost dead.
Is there another one over there?
I can't tell. Shit, I can't even execute it. What the fuck? Die, motherfucker, die. I didn't hear
I hear
anybody else. That was
explosions.
just him crawling around, I heard, I think.
in gunfire.
I guess he was, well, he wasn't solo, but he was separated. Shit, I got no ammo, really.
He did, yeah, he didn't turn into a box, so it has to be more.
No,
Unless he
yeah.
just left his teammates. I don't know. Possible. for sure.
Joe, are you
Yeah, I
pushing
thought we were
that, or
pushing
you,
fights.
You guys want to loot this, or? Yeah, I have like 28 ammo.
Yeah. Let's go. Yeah, I'm just looking for a different
All right,
gun.
all right,
Let's
all
go. Fuck it. Let's do it.
Wish you could transfer ammo from one gun to another. Oh,
Can you fix your
I need
shit?
At least that
Zero?
box. Oh, I didn't.
shield cells?
Yeah, I didn't realize. Thank you.
What ammo do you need, Zero? Oh, you're double heavy?
That's what I need. That heavy right there. Yeah. Oh, thank you. That's plenty for now. That's plenty for a fight.
Alright, they're across the way.
Say we move this way.
All right.
Caustic trap. Hold up.
Yeah, there's a cloud of gas right there. Oh, here's a two dudes.
Oh, there's that person's crawling. Shit.
Got one.
Nice.
Yeah, you got one, or there's one
I
crawling.
think somebody's over there too.
I'm dropping my
Yeah,
ultimate
somebody
on
ran
this
over
building.
here.
Go on the
Drop
roof.
my ultimate on him.
Okay. Oh, I got another one. Oh, he dropped down from the roof. Oh, I got him. Oh, he's got a gold fucking shield. Suck that, gold shield. Suck that.
Whole squad drops right here.
Hell to the yeah.
Somebody's being brought back.
Lot of lot.
Oh, I'm being shot. I'm being shot. I'm being
Flat
shot.
line.
Somebody's being brought
Shit,
back right
coming,
here.
coming. Oh yeah, I see him. I see him. I'm trying to Phoenix. Okay, they're coming in. They're coming in.
Yeah.
Oh
There
my
you go, I'm
God.
with you.
Oh, I'm down. I'm self-reviving.
I can't see this
He's back
motherfucker.
here.
Oh shit, I'm not self-reviving. They're going.
He's dead.
Oh yeah.
Behind me,
Oh,
somebody
another
shot
one.
me in the back.
In that area. In that area.
Oh no, that kid is rolling.
Alright, I'm down. They get him up. They get him up. They get him
I got
up.
somebody
bam.
above me on this.
Oh, goddamn. There's one more here.
Oh. Dude, motherfuckers.
See, stuff like that I find more fun. Just going in and everybody rushing and
I'll have-
fighting.
I have fun with
Plus, it gets me in the zone to play better. Like, I'm not,
Yeah,
my
I
accuracy
mean, I don't mind-
isn't on point right now. I just need some practice like that, you know?
playing a bit like that, but yeah, I also want to play to win though, you know, it's like, I like both things, but I like victories
But you win
better
more often
than
if your
battles.
shots better. I feel like we've been
Oh, yeah.
losing a lot of gunfights that we should have won, I feel like. Personally, I have
Yeah, no,
also, you know? I don't know.
Oh well, I mean, in a way, like if you want to like say individual, like on an individual basis, I would agree that that maybe I shouldn't. But at the same time, I feel like every game we've been in tonight has been a fucking one squad after another, and we've been shit stomping kids and killing 2 or 3 squads. I mean, you know, it's
I'm
like,
not saying we're doing bad at all. I know. I'm just saying I would like some practice. That's all I can really say.
yeah,
Plus,
yeah.
I think it's fun to do that. I mean, that's how I like to play. But I know you don't like to play
I
like
like
that
it
all
to
the
an
time.
extent. Yeah, I kind of like it. I like.
But at
doing
least so I
battles
can get
and-
warmed up. Whatever, you know.
Yeah,
You
sure,
know,
sure.
This is your champion. Don't bring a pistol to an artillery fight. It's time. I'm the jump master.
Alright, I feel like... I don't know what'll be hottest. Probably... R?
was that what you're talking about?
Okay, yeah, it's blue. We can do that.
Heard that.
Yeah. I mean,
That
they'll
may
probably
be
be laid
hot.
back and relaxed.
Maybe a hot drop.
I feel like it'll be a breeze.
Thing in. Hang on.
We'll drop like 3 squads each. Win the game
Yeah,
right
that's-
here.
That's how we do.
I feel like that's probably what's gonna happen. I really just need gun practice. To be real, that's what I really need.
I didn't look around to see. I'm sure somebody's landing, but
Oh, I'm being shot at. Yep,
Somebody over there.
I'm down.
Oh no, where you at?
I see him. I see him.
Oh, that is not our
I've hit
guy.
that bitch for.
Sure.
Dude, why is my shit only doing 37 damage?
Oh god damn. I don't even think I hit him with a fucking shot. I like to see this gas. Nope. I didn't fucking land a single thing on him.
Dude, I was hitting this kid with the longbow, and I did 2 shots in a row, and it was only doing 37 damage. Is that a tank reduction, or have they nerfed that thing to where it's a
Maybe, I
worthless
think
piece
it's
of
usually
shit?
45, right?
Yeah, I think so. It
But
must have
10%
been the
would
yeah,
be
it must have
minus
been the tank.
4.5. Maybe you're hitting them in the hand. The hands and limbs do less damage than the
Twice in a
the
row.
wrist.
Oh well, okay. I could have hit him on an arm twice in a row, yeah, because they were kind of pointing. Oh, they were in profile, so it pisses me off though to be firing a gun that's like pow, 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 and it's only doing 37. I mean, when you could be hitting them with a scout or something.
Yeah.
All I had was a Mozambique longbow piece of shit. So.
champion.
I'm even better face to face. Maybe we don't. I'm fine with whatever. Follow the leader. That's me. Or don't. Whatever.
I guess I'll hit here.
Good this way.
Somebody's in here with me.
There's people around me too.
Okay. I'm moving towards you.
Oh, he's got a gun. I don't. Cool.
I'm taking shots.
Oh, how do I get in?
Bitch, you the fuck you shooting?
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, man.
Oh shit!
I'm dead. You shot it.
Oh fuck! Crawl.
I'm
Yeah,
in
crawl
here.
inside, please.
I'm inside. This is me.
Shit!
Oh no.
I couldn't even let go of you quick enough. Like I heard his footsteps and like almost instantly let go, and it's like the fucking delay is just too much.
Yeah, it takes a little bit. It's tricky.
I feel like when they're running on metal, I ought to hear their footsteps sooner.
Yeah, it's usually louder. You like Hobson, Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty good. One of his songs I never heard before is on. Pretty good.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
I first heard of him in like, I think it's called like
Training all day, so it's about time.
Hobson Illmind 5 or some shit. One where he has like, it's like he's in a basement
I have no idea.
and it's like black light or something. He has these crazy eyes. Oh, you never saw
No.
that? That was like viral when it came out, I thought. Illmind of Hobson 5, that's what it's called.
This is your champion.
It's a good song. I'd recommend it.
I'm your jump master. This time.
Hi, friends.
Yes, Hobson's pretty good. He comes on this Joyner Lucas station on Pandora you were talking about.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Got a good feeling about this area. Here we go. Ready up.
Right now I'm actually listening to that Voice to 5'9" song station.
Which one?
Caterpillar. Name of the song.
That sounds familiar. I'm not sure if I've heard it or not though.
Fuck is this? I landed like on a fucking roof. Yay!
So
I don't
somebody's
think
in here
anybody's
with us.
here though, so we're alright.
Yeah, they are. They are.
Spoke too soon.
They're over in this.
This guy. There's somebody running towards you, Joe. I don't think they have a gun, but they're down.
Okay, I'm coming.
First blood.
Oh, you got him? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Coming. Okay, I'm with Joe now. There's somebody over here. There might be two over here, by the way. There's a
No, I'm
spit.
gonna grab this good fire.
And I found a havoc. There's another flat.
Oh, over here.
Man, that's fucking trash.
Reloading.
We got her. We got her.
Don't worry, I'm here.
All good.
Go ahead and execute her if you want to. Get
Nah,
your
I'm
shields.
popping a Phoenix kit.
Fuck
I hear somebody else.
Yes.
I have no armor.
They're right there.
Got her. Oh, we got her. Hell yeah.
Gotta hop up
Any
here.
fucking armor.
Fire.
Go ahead and take that blue. Go ahead and give me your white.
What? Shirt.
Yeah. Oh, you don't have a white shirt?
I did. I definitely had one for sure.
Oh, it did put in there. It just I had to like get out of the box and go back into it for it to like it didn't pop in like you'd think it would. I had to.
I made it invisible so you couldn't see it. Duh, bro.
I had to refresh the
Duh.
display. Shit.
G7 scout here.
Using some of that Mirage magic.
Yeah, you got bamboozled, bro.
Go ahead and get that blue
No,
shirt,
you
Joe.
take it.
I get some all the time.
You like don't.
You need energy? I'm dropping a
Get
little
it
bit of
Not
energy.
a energy gun.
Generous man.
Okay. There's a couple syringes if you want them. Oh shit, I don't have a bag. That's why I can't carry anything.
Here's bags.
Good.
The ring's
Doors open over here.
We're not close.
Did we kill two? Did either of you have a
I
kill?
don't.
I mean, yeah, I got one. Yeah.
Okay, well, we killed a squad, but or we killed 3 anyway. But
100% hearing people. It could be up top.
okay,
Yeah, 100% they're up top.
okay.
Oh, yep, I see them.
I'm creeping up the stairs.
They're on the roof.
Contact with
Up top?
Yep.
Up top?
Oh, okay, I'm coming.
On the,
On
top
the roof,
top?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, more than one. I'm dead.
This one's almost dead. Gibraltar. He ran in. Yeah, bitch.
It's up. I'm gonna execute him. I need my
Okay.
shield. I don't know. Yeah,
I'm watching. Somebody else is coming.
bad.
Ooh, she is
That's
laggy.
somebody else? Oh shit.
Yeah, she dead. One more somewhere.
Oh, they didn't turn in their box?
Nope.
Let me get some bullets. I don't even have a full clip.
There's a 301.
I need fucking heavy.
There's a. Oh, okay. Oh, I got no heavy.
I've
I'm
got
looking.
my
I'm looking.
bullets.
I had
Yeah.
heavy in my box.
Energy and sniper in this one.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Somebody just activated the Birdman shit.
Here's
Just for
20
Birdman.
heavy
Alright. Come back
and
to
a
that.
purple backpack.
I should have
shield
so many
batteries.
little shields for some reason.
Oh, I just got pinged by Birdman. Oh, upstairs in the. I got fucked up while I was healing. He's running out that door. Oh, shit. He had a buddy, too. I think I heard somebody else running up.
Damn. Yeah. Hemlock. Stormy. Oh. Damn, good damage, yeah. 700.
Thank you.
Oh, so he had somebody else there too?
I heard somebody else run up after we all went out, or as I was waiting to turn into a box or whatever.
I figured
Somewhere
that'd
there,
be
I heard
the
somebody else
third
run up.
man.
Yeah, maybe it was some other sound I heard. I don't know. Yeah, man, I feel like going. I think Joe said this the other night, but I feel like if you go to the firing range for a few minutes before you start and like practice hitting different targets at different ranges and do,
Yeah. I mean,
it's
I don't
not
know.
the same,
And it's just-
but I think it warms you up a little.
Yeah, it definitely does.
It's not the same as combat though. It's not as good as combat, but
yeah. I mean, also it's just like
Got pork chops tonight.
besides just how you can aim, like how you can
You made the right choice.
play against somebody running around, you know?
yeah, that's true. They should have they have those.
Because I mean,
stationary
honestly,
bots in the
my
firing
aim
range,
really
but-
isn't that great. I'm not gonna lie. Even when I get all these kills, not because my aim is great, it's because I play better by
Introducing your champion.
outplaying the other people. Not because my aim's
There's a
better,
thing
just by
like
like
that.
whatever
Yeah, I know
I
what you
do
mean.
besides aiming. You know what I mean? I really don't have good
Strategery.
aim. I'm not gonna lie. I really don't have good aim.
All right, maybe that shit'll be hot because it's blue. That's where we just. Is that where we? No, it's not where we just were. Okay.
I say we land here.
Okay.
All right.
Hold your breath.
your breath.
Yes.
Here goes the cold water. But the beat goes on. Da da dum da dum.
I'm gonna go in this.
You
rock
better go
room.
to the sorting factory looking building. Don't remember the name.
Shit. Shit. Oh fuck. I got two people with me up here. God damn it! They punched me to death.
Oh shit! Triple take kill. Oh fuck you, Cossack. I'm almost dead though.
There's two people on the roof where I'm at. They're
Oh, you're dead?
fucking. They punched me to death and took my 2020.
Alright, I need to heal my shit. I don't have a vest, and I was like at 2 health. Shit!
They might have.
They know
nothing
that
but
I'm here.
2020, Joe, but I don't know about it. Yeah, I wouldn't even find them.
There's a
right this second.
caustic that I downed out there.
Just got pulsed.
I hear them on the roof. Oh no! Yep, that's me being dead. There's 2 of them out here.
Yeah, I got pulsed from
Oh,
behind me.
no.
So I was,
Good, yo.
Oh, you would have had him if his buddy hadn't ran up behind.
I feel like you guys are getting annoyed at Hot Drop, so...
no, I'm only doing one more
You know,
game.
It's a suggestion. No,
Yeah,
you done
okay.
for the night?
You want to play a game of ranked?
I don't care. I'm gonna do one more. So whatever you guys want to do.
All right. Well, what? I mean, do y'all feel like a game of ranked?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Oh shit. I'm ready to check. My bad.
I can win this thing with one eye closed, or both eyes closed. Hell, I don't even have to show up.
Listen and fight.
I cannot wait to win this match, friend.
This is your champion.
I don't know what's over there, but let's go find out.
Follow the leader.
Probably like fall into like death. Anybody know what's there? I don't know.
Where at? What?
Where I pinged, like the other side of that shit. I don't know, man.
What's a geyser?
I
didn't
don't
know
know
until I
if
looked at
I'm
the
flying bad or what. I'm like not hitting high speeds.
Oh shit! Yeah, I think I'm gonna like jump down on it. Oh, I thought it was.
Let's check out
Fuck!
over
It
there.
looked like the geyser. It's not the geyser. Oh, we were already at the. Okay, Lava City.
I'm gonna hit the bottom door because I'm not able to hit anything else. Okay.
I landed in a trailer with 3 45s and like 6 boxes of light ammo in it.
Yeah.
This isn't ranked.
Guess it's 45 time.
Yeah.
It's
What'd you say,
not
Jeff?
Ranked.
Oh, well, it's not a big deal. I just. Oh. You chose rank, didn't you?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It may
you're
be
the
that
group
bug
leader, Joe?
that we had.
Whatever.
I tried to change it. What do you mean?
But you know, it's probably that same shit where like
You know,
We-
maybe I didn't. I
It
don't
knocked
remember.
us out of rank, you know, after one
I might
match.
not have. I don't remember now. Thought I did.
It's
but-
no big.
No, it is big.
It's huge.
Extended heavy mag here.
There's 2 boxes of energy with that L-Star.
Okay. Alright, yeah, that just disappeared as I was looking for it. Oh, well, I'll come find it.
Body shield here. Level 1.
You want me to pick up that energy for you?
Yeah, that'd be swell.
All right.
Oh, shit. I got turned around.
Either of you need some light ammo?
Mid-range.
No, I'm fine.
Barrel stabilizer here.
Any what?
Light ammo?
The ring's closing in 1.
Do you need some or you're trying to give some away? I'm good
Do
on
you
ammo
need some?
personally.
Okay.
Shotgun bolt here. Level 2.
Here you go, Joe.
Watch out for
No,
Hey,
Oh,
I'm
wrong.
good, man. You're back.
I mean, you can have that
nah,
too.
I don't
That's
need
why I was
the
trying
light. Thank you. I'm
Okay.
gonna be switching light.
No problem.
Probably. I don't know. I'm gonna be switching something once I find a energy gun.
Oh, did
I didn't run back for that All-Star.
there was an L-Star? Okay.
I will maybe.
Oh, here's a Havoc.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Dibs. Heavy ammo here.
Excuse me. I'm throwing a zip when y'all are done looting.
Zero, you need heavy?
Right, chaw. Yeah, I could use a little. Thanks.
You hit all these buildings here?
I don't know. I've
You must-
hit a few.
Art Star here. Incoming care package. I love that.
I was just throwing it for whenever. The ring's closing, but we got a minute.
I mean, we can go.
You shot down a loot tank? Oh, I can't get
I didn't really know if we had hit. I've hit a lot.
We have to go far, not crazy far.
Oh, there's a balloon. But
I thought yeah, damn.
oh,
nobody's
there's
in
shit to loot
touch
here. Yeah, there's shit to
Yeah.
loot. So
This whole fucking shit hasn't even been touched. Gonna look for like a good gun I like or something.
all right. We're split up a little, but just so you know, where we're at is also on.
Oh yeah,
is
I
also
know, but
unlooted.
nobody's here, so
Okay.
not gonna die, but I'll get there.
Here. Level 2.
Oh, I didn't mean to pick up a sniper. Hey, we might can zip over to you when we're through this
No, I don't
building
gotta.
here.
I'll catch up to you.
Well,
Shield cell
I
here.
mean, you're in a bigger. This is just a little area over here.
Gotta hop
Dude,
over here.
I didn't realize there were this many fucking.
Yep, here is
Lava domes,
the
dude.
wall.
Oh, Joe, there's a purple armor outside on the floor you're on the balcony.
Oh, sweet. Gracias.
Yeah. Dude, there's like 50 million lava domes over here. How many are there even? Like,
Oh, yeah.
well, I can't zoom in on the map,
I
can
never
I? Oh, I
noticed
can.
There's a balloon here.
1, 2. Oh, maybe it's not as many as
Yeah,
I
there's a
thought it
good
was. Like a
amount.
lot.
Storm's
well,
coming,
I
Zero.
know there's big hell and like little hell or whatever.
Okay. I'm gonna hit this. Oh, you on the balloon? Okay.
Do I hear gunshots?
Okay. I can't see them from where I was flying.
Okay, yeah, I don't know if I heard them or not. I thought I did.
Oh yeah,
I'm
100%
on the
hear
roof.
somebody. Yeah, no, they're in here. They're in here.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay. Also coming in from that side.
Stuck my grenade. Help.
Another one over. Two more over here.
Alright, let me get an angle. One guy's underneath that caustic.
Lifeline's down.
Broke his shield.
Where's the last
Yeah,
motherfucker?
lifeline's down. Okay.
Yeah, bitch. Get effed in the A.
You got F everywhere.
Light ammo here. Prowler SMG here.
No selecty fire. There's like a stock in there. Some other shit. Ah.
Optics here.
Medkit here.
Stock here. Level 2.
Standard stock here. Standard stock here.
I'm dropping 2 of these shield cells. I was just picking up a couple extra.
I'm alright.
Anybody, Joe, you
No,
want
I
some
got
shield
8.
cells?
I'm good.
Oh, there's
Oh, optics.
12
Was
fucking.
there any optics in there? I need some of that shit. Yeah. there's
Here,
a
I'll give you
cycle.
this. I'll give you this U, and I'll take this 1 to 2.
Put it in
That's
the box.
4 syringes.
Yeah.
I heard bullets.
Shank it out.
Minute. Ring's pretty close.
Yeah.
Extended heavy mag here. Level 2.
Oh yeah, I hear him. Okay. Is it out in the
I think
open
it's at the
or?
harvester.
Yeah, I
could
guess
be
so.
wrong. I'm gonna check.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
I got a 3x. I don't see people running around.
Oh, I do. Right over in the. Here, I'll throw
Up
a
top
zip.
there.
Yeah, in the middle. Up top in the middle.
Yeah, I was Marty underground.
You were the only one left up there when you threw it. And Joe was down like 5 seconds before, and I dropped like right before.
Heavy ammo here.
Yeah, there's heavy ammo here as well.
Heavy ammo here.
Oh, there's boxes and shit. So they're straight killers, fellas.
Little kill beat.
Setting up my decoy. Great. Already inside the ring.
I see them. They just. I
Hostile
think there's still
Okay.
1 in there.
You guys ready?
2 in there. Yep. They see me. I'm burning them. I'm burning 2 of them. One's down.
Got one.
You may have been spotted.
Burning a motherfucker. Oh.
Just a lifeline left, I think.
They're all fucked up.
Yeah, they're all
You
dead.
got 'em? There we go.
Yeah.
There's like 5 gold
Man, I'm
boxes.
glad they weren't looking at me. Or I'd have been a dead bitch.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. Recharging my shields.
Instead, they felt the wrath of the hemlock.
Body shield here. Level 4.
Fuck them up like Socrates.
Oh shit!
Oh shit! Oh shit!
God damn it.
Fuck you, kid. You're a dead man.
Oh, behind us!
Oh,
shit.
somebody else.
Other side, other side.
Oh shit.
Shit.
Somebody did this sonar thing. You want to get me up? We should probably route.
I'm fucking.
Somebody else
I got
coming. I hear him.
25
I hear him.
Yeah,
I hear him. Zero. 24.
he's dead. I got him. He's
I'm
dead.
almost dead.
Better squad mate's banner.
Oh, I didn't know you were alive. Awesome. I thought you were both down. Whew, man, it was intense. Somebody get this gold shield. I've got a.
Yeah, I
purple
got
Eva.
a.
Well, the only other respawns are not going to be in the next circle. So I'm probably done.
Alright, we got a minute. Over there.
Let's explore this way.
Joe, do you want this gold shield?
I have one. I'm gonna try to get Grim back.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
Where's the respawn?
It's over
Where's the respawn?
to the west. I set a portal.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Punching a tunnel.
Okay. Set a portal and I can set a zip line.
Double rift.
Yeah.
Portal placed.
I want to shield up. Before you get me back, I don't need to die because
Yeah,
I'm
yeah. If you
shielded.
want to,
Oh, yep.
Joe, you want me? Oh shit!
Healing up. Eyes are open.
Grenades, grenades, grenades!
Unleash hell on you.
Let's see.
Fuck.
10 seconds.
We got 5 seconds on the rim.
Shit. Shit, I'm so fucked.
I'm zipping it over.
Oh shit, wrong button. Cancel that. Cancel.
God damn it. I've heard this one.
Oh, behind you, Joe.
Oh,
Somebody's in the field on the opposite side of zero.
Oh,
Yeah, I
they're
think you
behind
oughta
you,
run
so-
for it.
Fuck, they're everywhere. They're almost for me. I'm dead.
Oh, you couldn't run for it.
Oh, there's nothing left in here at all. Damn.
It was 2v3. We were stomping. We were really hurting them for it being 2v3. I mean,
Damn, you guys did some good ass damage.
Yeah, broke 1,000. Nice.
and popping.
Alright, fellas. I will
Think.
talk to y'all tomorrow.
What? Big
Yeah,
games,
tomorrow's
man.
Friday. I should
All
be
right,
back
sounds
on.
good. A little more. Triple 3-day in a row stream.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Three
Stream
days in a row
mania.
screaming.
Yeah.
Well, that's fictional, but
Screaming. All his fans
Yeah,
screaming.
all, yep. All zero.
yeah, that's like
He won't stop.
They're screaming
Yeah.
about something.
Alright, fellas. I will talk to you
At least they're screaming.
tomorrow.
Those are
I
good.
guess, probably.
all right. Have a good job.
Yeah, sounds good, man. Later, dude.
Alright. Alexa, pause. Alright, so I want to say thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate it. Whether it was Facebook, Twitch, Mixer, YouTube. Facebook, Twitch, Mixer, YouTube. Yeah. Whether you're here for a minute, a second, 5 or 10, an hour, whatever. By being here, you're showing me that you care enough about me or what I'm doing to spend some of your day with me. So I appreciate that. Not a good stream tonight. I want to apologize for that. I was not in a great mood, and then early on, and just all of the shenanigans just pissed me off. You know, just all the not a good stream. Also appreciate the engagement I get on social medias, Instagram especially. It's Mechanic on all socials except Twitter. It's Mechanic G, and I also have another Instagram that I do like art, illustrations, some paintings and stuff. That's art.mechanic. Follow me on all that. It'd be super swell of you. Thanks for stopping by.